The world number one has destroyed rackets, argued with umpires, and intimidated opponents across the biggest stages in tennis. But the expression Aryna Sabalenka gave Alex Eala at the Italian Open left fans and analysts completely stunned. It wasn't rage. It wasn't frustration. It was something far more unexpected: respect. Aryna Sabalenka arrived in Rome carrying the pressure of being the defending champion and the most dominant player on tour. With 3 titles already in her 2026 season, many believed nobody could stop her. She had powered through her opening matches with confidence and looked ready for another deep run at the Foro Italico. But everything changed the moment she walked past the Pietrangeli practice court. Philippine flags filled the stands. Chants of Laban Alex echoed around the clay courts. The atmosphere felt more like a final than a practice session. At the center of it all was 20-year-old Alex Eala, preparing for the biggest challenge of her tournament, a showdown against Elena Rybakina. Then came the moment everyone noticed. Sabalenka suddenly stopped walking. Cameras captured the world number one staring silently at Eala's warm-up session. For a few seconds, she looked completely locked in, studying every movement from a young Filipina star. Fans immediately sensed something unusual. The clip exploded online within hours. Witnesses nearby later claimed Sabalenka quietly told a member of her team, "She's not afraid." That single sentence revealed everything. Because Sabalenka understands what it takes to become dangerous on the WTA Tour. She remembers arriving on the circuit as a talented but inconsistent player, powerful, emotional, fearless, but still unfinished. She remembers the criticism, the heartbreak, the pressure, and the struggle to turn potential into greatness. And when she looked at Alex Eala, she saw pieces of her younger self. "She's got the game. She's got the fight," Sabalenka later admitted. "The experience will come with time." Those words carried weight coming from the best player in the world. Throughout the tournament, Sabalenka had quietly followed Eala's incredible rise. She watched the Filipina battle past Magdalena Frech in a dramatic 3-set comeback, surviving relentless pressure and saving crucial break points. She saw Eala dominate Wang Xinyu in straight sets, getting revenge for a painful defeat earlier in the season. But beyond the wins, it was the energy around Eala that caught Sabalenka's attention most. "The crowd loves her," Sabalenka said, "and she loved them back." That connection is special. For many fans, that moment in Rome felt symbolic, the established world number one recognizing the arrival of a future star. Yet while Sabalenka was praising Eala's fearless mentality, her own tournament was beginning to unravel. Only days later, the Belarusian superstar stepped onto the court against veteran Sorana Cîrstea in one of the most shocking matches of the Italian Open. From the opening games, Sabalenka looked uncomfortable. Her timing was off. Her power was being absorbed by Cîrstea's relentless defense. The defending champion dropped the first set 2-6, leaving fans stunned inside the Foro Italico. Although Sabalenka fought back to claim the second set 6-3, the pressure kept building. Every rally became a battle. Every mistake triggered frustration. For the first time all tournament, the world number one looked vulnerable. And suddenly, the tennis world remembered the moment she had paused to watch Alex Eala. Because sometimes champions recognize greatness before everyone else does for a moment. It looked like order had finally been restored. After dropping the opening set, Aryna Sabalenka stormed back to take the second against Sorana Cîrstea, unleashing the power and aggression that had made her the defending champion in Rome. The crowd expected the world number one to finish the comeback and move on, but Cîrstea refused to disappear. The final set turned into a brutal battle of endurance, filled with exhausting rallies, momentum swings, and mounting tension. Sabalenka's movement began to slow. Between points, she looked uncomfortable. Eventually, she called for a medical timeout as trainers treated what appeared to be lower back and hip discomfort. Then came the moment nobody expected. Frustrated and overwhelmed, Sabalenka turned toward her coaching box and shouted, "What are you showing me?" The cameras captured everything. It wasn't just anger. It was the raw emotion of a champion realizing her title defense was slipping away. Sabalenka has always played with fire and intensity, but this moment felt different. More vulnerable, more human. Minutes later, it was over. Aryna Sabalenka had been eliminated from the Italian Open, Yet even after the disappointment of defeat, one thing remained unchanged: her respect for Alex Eala. Inside the post-match press conference, reporters questioned Sabalenka about her injury concerns, her emotional outburst, and her shocking exit from Rome. But when the conversation shifted toward the new generation players, especially Alex Eala, Sabalenka's entire tone changed. She's coaching boxing shouted, "What are you showing me?" The cameras captured everything. It wasn't just anger. It was the raw emotion of a champion realizing her title defense was slipping away. Sabalenka has always played with fire and intensity, but this moment felt different, more vulnerable, more human. Minutes later, it was over. Aryna Sabalenka had been eliminated from the Italian Open. Yet even after the disappointment of defeat, one thing remained unchanged: her respect for Alex Eala. Inside the post-match press conference, reporters questioned Sabalenka about her injury concerns, her emotional outburst, and her shocking exit from Rome. But when the conversation shifted toward the new generation of players, especially Alex Eala, Sabalenka's entire tone changed. "She's going to be a problem," Sabalenka said. "Not with bitterness, not with sarcasm, with admiration. She's got the game. She's got the crowd. She's got the heart." Then the world number one reflected on her own journey to the top. "I was her once," Sabalenka admitted. The player trying to prove herself. The one fighting for every point, every opportunity. "I know what that feels like." She paused before delivering the quote that instantly spread across social media. She's gonna make it, not because of rankings, because of her fight. That's what separates the good from the great. Those words carried enormous weight, coming from the most dominant player in women's tennis. Sabalenka understood something many fans were only beginning to realize. Alex Eala wasn't just having a good tournament. She was changing the atmosphere everywhere she played. "She has a nation behind her," Sabalenka added. "That's not pressure. That's power." And in that moment, the story became bigger than wins and losses. Sabalenka had entered Rome as a defending champion, expected to dominate once again. Instead, she left with concerns about her health, questions about her form heading into Roland Garros, and a growing awareness that the next wave of stars had already arrived. At the center of that conversation was Alex Eala. Although Eala's inspiring run ended with a straight sets loss to Elena Rybakina, the Filipina still walked away from Rome with her ranking rising to world number 38 and the attention of the entire tennis world. But statistics were never the real story. The moment people will remember is the image of Aryna Sabalenka pausing beside a practice court, silently watching Alex Eala warm up while Philippine flags waved around the Foro Italico. It was a moment a reigning champion recognized something dangerous in a rising star. Not fearlessness, belief. And now the tennis world is asking the same question when Aryna Sabalenka watches Alex Eala in the years ahead. Will she remember the moment she saw herself in the young Filipina's fight? Or will she realize that Alex Eala was never a reflection of the past, but the beginning of a revolution in women's tennis? Aryna Sabalenka's quiet moment of recognition in Rome has already become one of the defining images of the 2026 Italian Open. A champion saw the future standing on the other side of the practice court. And for the first time, the future looked ready.